I don't mean any disrespect to the Islanders fans here. You've had a.
I do.
Same here, actually. Yeah, same here.
All right,
Pound
we got
sand.
okay.
Stick talk. 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 Stick talk.
And hockey.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 77 of Stick Talk Hockey. As always, I'm your host, Tico. This is my co-host.
I'm yours truly.
And we got one more division to do in our season preview.
Hey, Metro!
Hey, Metro! That's right. Metro Division is here. One more wild card stuff ready to go. Quite the division. I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm glad we saved this one for last because this is definitely going to be a blast.
I agree, and I really think we should just jump right into it.
I'm so with you there.
Number one, we're going in alphabetical order yet again. That means we're up with the Carolina Hurricanes to start this one. Let's do a brief rundown here of what they did. I know we talked about most of this in our free agency recap, but they add some pieces. They get Sean Walker comes in, right?
I like Sean Walker. That's a good ad.
Shane Goss is spare.
Okay.
Perennial like add-on in a Fantrax trade.
Yep. 100%.
You know? Will Carrier. He's in from Vegas.
I like me some Carrier.
I don't mind that at all. And Jack Roslovic, Tyson Jost, both of them come in as well.
I was looking at this list and I was like, I don't not like a single name in this list. It might be the most like positive list I have.
Just consistently positive. And I mean, that's kind of what Carolina does, right? As much as there's been so much talk over the years about like, do they add enough? Do they do enough with the big names and things like that? They tend to just make like really solid moves for the most part, right?
And I think that like the payoff in getting Gensel last year and seeing it trend so well in the playoffs, it kind of got rid of the cold feet they had about making those big moves because this is a team that isn't worried about making the wrong move anymore. They want to make the right move now.
Yeah.
They're tired of waiting, and their identity was wrong. Their hockey was wrong. The brand that they played was wrong. And look who they send out.
Well, that's it, right? Unfortunately, that's where the good news ends with Carolina because they did have a quite a few significant subtractions, right? I mean, Jake Gensel was only there for a couple months, but he did change the makeup of that team dramatically.
Yep, and you know what? We kind of knew he wasn't going to stay.
It seemed that way, but they really tried. There was a lot of talk that it was going to get done there, and for one reason or another, it didn't end up happening. And then, really, losing Brady Shea and Brett Pesce, as much as, you know, maybe they're not world-beating defensemen, they're two, like, pretty substantial depth guys that they lose along with Tony DeAngelo. I mean, but, like, you know what I mean? In terms of, like, serviceable hockey defensemen, that's a tough look for them.
It is, but it's, like, I feel like it's still addition by subtraction a little bit because they have those defensemen already in Jacob Slavin and in Brent Burns and in Jalen Chatfield. Like, all of those guys exist. They need things that like are different. The problem with Carolina was that they were like, there wasn't a weak part of their game,
Sure,
but there wasn't an incredibly strong part of their game either. Besides being very decent.
I don't mind that. They also lose Teravainen.
I mean, you know, that's also one of those things where it's like, I don't hate that. In the position they're in, the guy's kind of hitting that mark where you're like, is he really going to hit ceiling?
No, but like, I mean, I guess you bring in William Carrier and Jack Roslovic. Do you think that they like replace him aptly?
I think that you probably get the scoring back with Roslovic, and you get the big body play with Carrier.
Sure.
So
sure.
I think that it's honestly a little better because I think Teravainen just had too much on his plate, like too many asks.
Yep.
I think he's one of those guys where he's going to score or he's going to be physical, but he's not going to be a physical scorer.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I just don't think that his game suits it, and that's not a knock on him. Lots of players don't. It's hard to do.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure. I think overall it's kind of a hard team to read just because there was a big number of additions and subtractions.
It was hard to read, but honestly, like I didn't have a single complaint on the whole list. Like I'm pretty critical. Like we've gone
Yeah.
through 3 divisions, and
Yeah.
I've been very critical about ads and takeaways.
Yeah.
We were going into the guys that had 2-way contracts last week.
Yeah, we were.
Like
I don't know. I will say like there's not a lot that I'm really worried about with the Hurricanes. They're gonna be good again. There's no question about it. It didn't change drastically enough for me to be like concerned about it. I'm a little bit concerned about the goaltending, just because like Kuchekov still hasn't shown me enough, and Anderson's another year older, and every year he's been a year older for a lot of years now.
yeah, I feel like Anderson's just one of those goalies that's always going to be like Hall of Very Good because of his physical limitations.
Sure.
Reminds me a lot of Tim Thomas.
I don't want to talk about no damn Tim Thomas. On this
Yeah, I'm
podcast.
sorry. It's like decent, or like even like a Kluche if you wanted to like bring it to Canucks town a little bit. Just like
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
always a little bit hurt, but always too good to ever like write off.
Yeah.
You know, you're just
Yeah.
hoping that he can finally put together a full season. Always hoping, never comes together, and you're always coming into the playoffs going, "Oh crap."
That's very fair.
But I believe in Kochekov. I will say that.
And I think I do too. Like I think I do. But I still need to see more for me to be like this year Kochekov's going to take the reins. You know what I mean? Like we just haven't come close to seeing it yet.
I think Kochekov is much closer to taking the reins than Minnesota. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Philip Gustafson.
Gustafson, yeah. I wanted to say
Sure.
Grubauer, and I was like, no, that's not it at all. Yeah, Gustafson. I think Kochekov was way closer than Gustafson ever was.
I guess so, but I mean I don't know. I don't see them as too much different. Like they're both playing for organizations that really want them to take the job. Like they've been given the reins. Here you go. Run with it. And neither of them have been able to.
I feel like that's half true probably for Kochekov, but not entirely, because Anderson's just like so good that when he comes back to full strength, you have no choice but to sit Kochekov, whether he's been good or not. And you just can't build anything in a developmental year when you're like, oh, great, you put up 5 amazing games with a 910 to 930. You're going to sit for 10 now. It's like, that's tough to like.
Yeah, maybe.
Like we always talk about how a 3-goalie system is hard to do. It's hard to even have this 2-goalie split crease when you have a guy that you want to take the job. Like
Maybe.
that's why the Devils made the most sense with Allen last year.
I get that, but I also feel like it's worked fine for Swayman Olmark.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
Maybe-
also like we have question marks about those 2 goalies as well, as if they are capable of being workhorse goalies. The way
Yeah.
they say.
And maybe a unique situation there, right? Because we haven't seen that. Like, there's not a ton of precedent besides that team of it working.
I mean, maybe Vegas, but like Aiden Hill, Logan Thompson, still not remotely close. I mean, they were very, very good as a tandem, but like,
Mhm.
still, it's not Swayman Allmark.
That's what I mean, though, is like, I know that they never really tried these two as like a full on tandem, but it just feels like that was never even a real possibility, which is why I'm still concerned about them. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I think that this will really, like, his development will be hinging on whether they get cold feet on him or not.
Sure.
In the
Yeah.
same way that like all of these other moves that we were talking about came from the lack of cold feet finally
Yeah.
with the wake up call that Gensel gave them.
That's very fair. All right, so for the Hurricanes, I got them doing fine again. I got them as a 102-point team. That's, you know, it's less than they had last year, but that's still a very respectable number in my eyes. 47 wins, 27 losses, 8 OTLs. It's a little bit worse than the counting stats. I think that for me that just comes from a lot of turnover in the roster.
Yeah.
There's going to be some growing pains figuring out the lines, things like that. But I think they're going to be pretty safely in third in the Metro.
I 100% agree, and I think their special teams are going to get much better this year with the additions that they made.
Yeah, that's fair, especially that PK. Yeah.
Yeah, and their power play. I think that just even if they're able to move Gothespair up to the PP2, just to quarterback
Yeah.
the right side a little
Yeah, it
bit.
could help a lot.
Yeah, they need some better distribution. They are way
Yeah.
too predictable. They need a vet up there that knows how to manipulate things. That could look really good. I mean, it looked
Yeah.
really great in Detroit last year,
That's very fair. Yeah.
right? So I have them going 53, 23, and 6. It's good for 112 points and second in the Met. Jay?
I got the Canes at 104 points.
How about-
It's good for second place.
How'd you get there?
I just there's really nothing to not like about this team. When the calendar gets to April, maybe that's different. But all in all, like, I'm not really that scared of many of their losses. They only had Gensel for like 20 games, and honestly, Pesci and Shea, I don't think are that much better than like a Sean Walker. I don't know. All in all, I'm not worried about this team at all in the regular season. And I kind of do trust Kochetkov to make a little bit of a jump where he can kind of be like, not the number one, but I think you can get like 45 games out of him where he's like definitely the number one goalie on this team, if that
Alright.
makes sense.
I buy that.
I kind of do feel like the rest of the league is closer to them now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
I
guess
agree.
still like you said, they're very comfortably a top 3 Metro team, but like I don't think they're gonna dominate the regular season like we've seen for years now.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hinging on their power play being much better, which is why I think they're going to do just as well, even though they'll have growing pains.
All right, let's move on. Let's briefly go through Columbus here. Columbus is a really tough one to do right now. Like I don't even really want to like sit here and talk about the on ice product when it comes to them.
Yeah, it feels off. And I mean, like, what are you going to say? Like,
I mean, they lost one of their biggest pieces, and I'm sure that half, like everyone's still just reeling around it. So I think it's probably going to be pretty rough on the ice. I mean, the team's going to have that on their minds. You also lose Patrick Laine, Adam Bachvist, Jake Bean, Jack Johnson, and Sean Monahan come in. Yeah, this team's on the ice. I don't blame them at all, but it's going to be bad.
yeah, I don't want to dig into this too much.
No.
But I mean, like, yeah, there's just like glaring depth issues, and that's nothing they can help. And it's just the product of a really unfortunate situation. It's going to be one of those consolation cake seasons where it's probably going to be super, super rough, but they're going to be doing it out of the love and memory of Johnny Hockey and his brothers. So, you know, it's kind of one of those write-offs where it's like, you know, they're taking everything day by day right now anyways. That's how you have to process something like this, like grief. So, you know, expecting them to put together an 82 game season right now, it's like, come on.
No. I got him at 58 points, last in the division. That's all right.
Yeah, I got him at, I think it's 66. It's also last in the division. I have him breaking 30 wins, so there's that. It's not like a completely miserable season, but it's still pretty tough.
Jonesy, I assume you're in and around there too.
In agreement, yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
move right on
For-
to the New Jersey Devils from there.
For sake of fluidity, Jay has him at 60 points, but
Yeah.
it's dead last.
Let's move on to the Devils, another team that had a lot go on
We're the Devils.
this off. I'm surprised you didn't show up in a Devils jersey today.
Nah, you know.
I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I'm
Jay-
sorry.
I popped out with the Pens.
Producer Jay is here with the Penguins jersey today.
Yeah, that is true. I did let the boys down a little bit. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I didn't wear Canucks jersey. I can't say anything.
We got mucked by the Montreal practice squad today, so I was just like,
It's true. What was his name? Pizzetta.
Michael Piazza.
Michael Pizzetta, yeah. Buried him.
That guy's.
Buried.
I'm a fan of his. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Like, he throws hella hits.
Yeah.
In fantasy.
He was
I don't mind Piazza. Austin was dragging him in the group chat, and I was like, I honestly don't take it as that much of an insult that he buried a few, but
All right, so we have them as one of our winners of the deadline. We know that. Kevin Ball's out. John Marino is out. Capo Kakinen is out. Alexander Holtz, Akira Schmid, and Brendan Smith all follow. Coming in, though, they get Jacob Markstrom, Brendan Dillon, Brett Pesce, Paul Cotter, Thomas Tatar comes back, Stefan Nosen. We got a
love
season.
it.
We got a season here.
I love it. This is the happiest I've been with like a Devils off season in a long time. I wish that Curtis McDermott wasn't a part of this team. That's the only thing in the last year that's really bothered me about the Devils' moves.
Yeah.
It's like they were like, they have a Rempe. Let's hire this homeless man. Let's just run bum fights at the end of the third period instead of playing hockey.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from there for sure. I could do without seeing him in this lineup either. Will he be in the lineup?
Probably because I don't believe in Nathan Bastian because he's so like toilet paper soft.
No.
Like more often than not, I don't know. I just like, I don't want to get started on that fourth line. Let's get there.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
All in all, though, like I'm mad excited for the Mercer Hischier Tatar realignment.
Yeah.
They were the second most productive team for goals expected. That's gonna be a juicy second line. They produce like crazy.
Yep.
Meyer, I'm excited to see him back to full health. He hasn't been
that's
full
a big
health.
one. That's a big one.
Yeah, he hasn't been full health since he put on a Devils jersey, so that's going to be huge. Hughes back and in full strength, looking great in practice. Jesper Bratt's unreal. I've been saying it for years. I think he's going to take another step. I don't think that he's even remotely hit his ceiling yet, which is kind of crazy. And I'm just going to... I don't even care what anyone has to say about it, because when I said Jesper Bratt was going to be a top 6 player, I got laughed out of the room in the first place, so y'all.
Jesus Christ.
Jesper Bratt is an elite player, and you can sick about it.
All right. Good grief.
I've eaten way too much shit over my Jesper Bratt
Jesper
love.
Bratt and Michael Pizzetta.
Those are the boys. We should just name the episode that.
I mean, look, Jesper Bratt's good. He's not Patrick Kane. Like, come on.
No, he's not. But I mean, like, that guy's sick.
He's
Trust
sick.
me.
I don't know about like elite. I'm not putting him I'm not putting him near Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier personally. He's nasty. I'll give you that. He's nasty.
He's a step below. He's nasty.
Yeah.
He's nasty like that though. Yeah. And everything they brought back is everything I always wish that they never got rid of. Like I just always hated losing Nosen. I hated seeing him continually take steps in Carolina. Bugged the hell out of me. Really happy to have him back. Really excited to see Pesce and Dillon.
Yeah.
Excited to see Nemec play a more relieved role.
Yeah, 100%.
Which it sounds weird. You never want to hear your fans saying, "I'm really excited for our number 1 draft pick, our first round pick to play on the third pairing."
To play less than he did last year, yeah.
But he was just so over his head last year.
Yeah.
He was swimming in it.
Him and Luke, right? Like they got thrown to the wolves, those two, and yeah, it's really important for them to have a little bit more of a sheltered role and to have some veterans above them that can take on some of the brunt of the work.
Absolutely, and give them room to make mistakes and not constantly have it end up in the back of the net, because that's when your confidence breaks.
Yeah,
it's one thing when you make a mistake and your vet pairing guy bails you out and goes, do better, kid.
Yeah,
it's another thing when it's like going Bardeezy.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then I'm really happy with the offseason for them. They took a look at their group and they just looked at every area that they needed, and they, it's yet to be seen if they fixed it, but they added everywhere that they needed help in. And I love a team doing that, just taking an honest look at where they are and what they need and going and just getting dudes that fill those needs.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think that they just hit a point where like there's no excuse.
Yeah.
If you see something wrong, fix it because like there's no room for excuses anymore. The clock is burning.
Exactly. And like that's the thing, as especially in retrospect now when I'm looking at like the Akira Schmid and Holtz like losing those guys that could be future pieces and stuff. It's like I don't know. I like when you see your window open and you see it sitting there, just go get the guys that you need. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, go find the pieces you believe in
Yeah.
that fit your taste and do it. Don't just,
Yeah.
Pussyfoot around the market and see what's available and go, oh, we'll try and make a bid when it's, the right time. It's like, no, if you want to win a championship, you make the right time.
You got to go get it.
Yeah, Tampa didn't wait for
No,
anything.
they went and got it.
Yeah, they went and got it.
Yeah,
Vegas
100%.
didn't wait. They went and got it.
They went and got it. Yeah.
Exactly. We could keep going. The last 6 teams to win the cup have went out and got it.
Absolutely. Aggressive teams win.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. From what I can tell, at least one of the newer trends in hockey is that aggressive teams win.
Yeah, it's not the 90s.
Goes for Florida as well.
Absolutely.
Florida was a very aggressive acquisition team.
Yep, absolutely. And like it's not 90s hockey. Like teams don't just fall together.
No. No.
It's way too quick of a league, way too skilled, way too much speed. You need to just be aggressive and find the pieces that fit your line in your game.
Yeah. So I'm very happy with the Devils. I think that they're going to have a massive bounce back season. I've got them at 105 points.
Yeah.
I got them up there, 49, 26, and 7. Boom. That's good for second in the Metro and a massive return to form from a tough year last year.
Yeah, I got him at 48, 34, and 10. That's good for 106 points. It's third. I would probably have them higher if I didn't hate 2/3 of the fourth line. I just feel like that's a glaring hole. I love the addition of Paul Cotter, but I've never liked Curtis Lazar as a part of this team, and I've never liked Nathan Bastian as a part of this team. And I think that they're pieces that they kind of have to grow up and move on from. Like, it's great that they mesh well with the boys. You know what else sits well with the boys? Winning games.
Yeah.
Weird concept.
Valid.
So, yeah, I have them being good, but not, like, the best.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting. You have them as 1 point higher than me, but in a spot lower than me.
Yeah.
Jay, how you feeling?
I got them in first place,
First place.
107 points.
Woo!
How did you end up a point above me and have them 2 spots above me?
Ring the alarm.
I think this team's real nice.
Yeah.
I have a hard time really finding a flaw here. One thing I will say is I'm skeptical of Markstrom,
That's understandable.
but their goaltending was so bad last year that if Markstrom is even just not that good,
Yeah.
it's probably still better than it was last year. I like Jake Allen as a backup. Like I feel like if I was a Devils fan, I'd be comfortable with that.
It's the first time I've been comfortable with a backup goalie in our system in a decade.
Like, yeah, your life.
Yeah, like,
I-
since Mackenzie Blackwood left.
Yeah.
And Dougie Hamilton's back.
That's so
huge.
huge. That's so huge for
folks forget how good Dougie Hamilton is.
Yes. Dougie Hamilton, honestly,
Held the team together.
honestly, might be one of the most underrated defensemen in the NHL.
Agreed.
I feel like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my circle, the people that I talk to. People think that he's trash. And I don't understand it. Like, I swear, I have these bar conversations with people who would rather play Brett Pesci than Dougie Hamilton. And I think they've lost
That's
their
crazy.
damn minds.
That's crazy.
Dougie Hamilton is so good for that team, and that's a huge piece to have back this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I almost feel like 107 is a bit light, but
Could be.
it's set in stone.
You got him over 50 wins though, so like
Yeah,
it's a pretty
I think
strong.
they're
season.
gonna just be demons in overtime.
Yeah, that's
Like, I
valid.
think like 5 OTLs is like a pretty low.
Yeah, if Luke Hughes comes back from his shoulder injury quick and without some ghosts on his shoulder, no pun intended,
Yeah.
then yeah, they're gonna be deadly in overtime because that kid is
I
too
think-
quick.
I think they will be too. And I mean, even without him, honestly. If you're rolling out Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt to start in overtime, you're winning a lot of those.
Yeah, and then I mean you're following it up with what, Timo Meyer and Nico Hischier, or Dawson Mercer and Nico Hischier?
Yeah,
Like,
I
okay.
don't mind that either.
Yeah, that's nasty.
All right.
Moving on.
Ugh.
Yeah, let's move on. God, this is a team I think we all collectively just don't like here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call a spade here. Who likes the New York Islanders?
Not me.
People who live on the island, I suppose.
Not even people who live on it.
I don't mean any disrespect to the Islanders fans here. You've had a
I do.
Same here, actually. Yeah, same here.
all right.
Pound
We got
sand.
okay. We got 2 Metro fans over here, so that makes sense. However, the Islanders, they get Anthony Duclair in. I don't know why that just feels like such an Islanders move.
You know it does. And it's like so Lou Lamoriello to find the player that like doesn't fit his makeup of what you have to look like in an organization and
Yeah.
then getting them.
Yeah.
Like he just ruins the best flows.
When
the
you're
best
editing this,
style.
when you're editing this, can you put the photo of Lou Lamoriello with Duclair's dreads on?
Yes. Yeah, he's genuinely stealing style.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's just a whole lot of subtractions. Sebastian Aho, not that Aho, the other Aho is out. Robert Bortuzzo is out. Cal Clutterbuck is out. Matt Martin is also out. I'd like to say like tough, but like I don't know. I don't know.
Those are all players I didn't like. It's like I don't know, like every player was like okay and you know. My biggest concern is that they didn't really add anything either, you know? Like
Yeah.
they just have a lot of players coming up from their system, and New York's not a team that like drafts historically well. So I don't know, unless you're feeling really good about whatever you've got coming up, like
I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not. No.
I'm not copping it.
Yeah, there's not a lot that I like here, honestly. That first line's gonna do damage again. Bo Horvat and Matt Barzal are gonna play very well together. It doesn't really matter who you put next to him, whether that's Anthony Duclair or whoever. Those players are good at both ends of the ice. That line will hold them above water. Brock Nelson, I do think, will probably have another great year.
You know, that line bores the shit out of me though.
Of course,
Like
that's Islanders hockey, baby.
Duclair, Horvat, and Barzell are like carbon copies of the same player, just in different packages, basically. Like they all have the same like 4-point wheelhouse where it's like puck control, passing. And
I think
like,
Bo Horvat would slap you if you said that he plays the same game as Anthony Duclair.
go ahead. I'll say it to your face twice.
That's my captain. He's not my captain anymore. He was my captain.
It's too old and for too long.
Yeah.
I gotta say something
Yeah.
that really scares me, and it's that I think Sorokin's gonna bounce back this year,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna yield them to the playoffs. It's a fear that I have, in all honesty.
I don't hate that. That's actually why I have them so high in the points.
That give me
Like,
chills. I don't like that.
I
I'm tired of seeing this team just be around.
I also don't really hate Varlamov as a backup either.
He might be the best backup in the league.
Like, yeah, if we're being real,
really
like
sucks.
I don't hate that they
crazy.
like. I don't hate if they go for a 1A 2B split and like actually keep them healthy.
No, I mean the team's pretty good. Like the team's honestly pretty good. That goalie tandem is good if Sorokin is healthy. That D group is good. They're gonna win. They're gonna play hard games. Yeah, Romanov, Dobson, Pelech, Pulak.
I mean, Pajot's had some down seasons too since he came to the island, so like they're still kind of hoping that he bounces back to what he should have been.
They're just the East Minnesota.
That's so accurate. Damn.
Kind of the Jets.
Nah,
No, the Jets have too much youth,
the Jets have talent.
and like they have they have
I'm
different
sorry,
players
but-
too. Like a lot of these players are just like the same thing. Like at least the Jets have like a certified sniper, a certified playmaker, a certified grinder, a certified
Yeah, they got more of a puzzle going on.
Like
right?
they have like something being built with a vision. This is just a bunch of players stacked
If-
on top of each other.
It feels like I know that this is the hockey pod, not the music pod, and we're audio people.
Yeah.
But it feels like listening to something unmixed.
Yeah. That's so accurate.
It's like there's nothing carved out here at all. There's no
It's
puzzle pieces. There's no low end. It's just a freaking wall of sound.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of ideas thrown at a piece of paper, and then they're like, "Yeah, we'll figure it out later."
Yeah.
And they never did.
It's like layering the same frequencies over and over and over again without adding any high end, any low mids, any nothing. You're just hammering that mid range over and over.
Yeah, it'd be like if I just layered our podcast audio over itself 6 times. I'm actually gonna do that in the edit, just to prove a point.
All right. I have them doing much worse, honestly. I don't know what it is. I don't buy it last year. I think that the other teams in this division are gonna be better. Save for maybe the Jackets, maybe the Penguins. Sorry, we'll get there. But I think like the Devils in particular, the Rangers are still gonna be good. There's just a lot of teams that I think are gonna beat on the Islanders more than they did last year. I think they're just going to lose more games that they won last year. I have them at 81 points, 35, 36, and 11. That's 7th. It's low. It's low. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I got him at 43, 32, and 7. It's 93 points. It's like a point or two better. Maybe it's even for what they did last year. It's pretty
One worse.
One worse.
yeah.
Okay, so, and I still have them taking wild card too. Like I do think Sorokin's just gonna carry this team through, and I think that they're all like they're so full of savvy vets. Like it's just a team that will find a way, and then will ultimately find a way to fall apart because they're all just that close to the nursing
They're
home.
just going to find their way to another first round sweep.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
For real Minnesota. Like they're for real Minnesota.
Yeah.
Jay, how you feeling?
I'm kind of in the middle. I got them at 90 points. Not good. Not good enough to make the playoffs. I don't know. It's a mix of like their goaltending's gonna keep them competitive,
Mm-hmm.
but this team it's not that good.
Nah.
Just simply put.
Yeah.
They kind of got a jump out of firing their coach last year. They hired Patrick Waugh.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And
I love that video of him whistling at his players like dogs in the first practice.
I'm happy I put him at 81 points. Patrick was not that guy.
I feel like that typically you get a new head coach and you kind of get like a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
I think that boost is gone.
Yeah.
This year, like it's worn off.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
It's like the Torts effect. When you bring in Torts, you're
Yeah.
you're great for a season, and then he's too much.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get
We're
there.
gonna talk
Actually,
about that.
I can't wait to talk about that.
But yeah, I don't know. I got them in that wild card race, but ultimately falling short.
Wouldn't that be nice? Finally, just fall short. Just don't make me watch 4 games of you getting pummeled because you took a playoff spot from a team that would be fun to watch.
I'm genuinely looking forward to the Hurricanes just kicking the crap out of the Islanders in the playoffs.
I'm not.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
We've seen it. I know what that story reads. I know what that song sounds like.
Satisfaction.
I can listen to Not Like Us again, but I want the new one.
Listen to what?
Not Like Us.
Oh,
That's basically like watching a Hurricanes Islanders game, no?
yeah.
Watching a dude step on somebody's body over and over again. All right.
Unite all the gangs to crip walk on him.
Okay. Let's move to the other New York team.
Blah.
Yeah, the Rangers.
The blue shirts.
Last year they come first.
Yeah, well.
They actually had a lot more outs than I realized. Like they bring Riley Smith in. I really like that ad. We talked about that one. I like that one quite a bit.
I don't.
Wow. Well, yeah,
Well,
but
yeah.
you're biased and
No,
sour from the
indeed.
Pittsburgh experiment.
very
Yeah, we'll
sour.
get to it.
we'll get to that. Riley Smith though has very much been a player through his career that kind of in the Jacob Markstrom thing where like he has a really good year and then a tough year and then a really good year and then a tough year. He did that in Vegas and he had a fantastic year before he got that deal and went to Pittsburgh and was pretty awful for them last year.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a really good year in New York. They also bring Sam Carrick in as well. Okay, but going out, I mean, Jack Roslovic, Barkley Goudreau, Eric Gustafson, Alex Wenberg, Blake Wheeler, whatever, but Tyler Pillock as well. I mean, it is what it is, but that's a lot of outs.
If I didn't believe in like how good some of their pieces were, I would have this team doing worse.
Me too. Yeah.
But I just like I have so much faith in Shiesty and in Adam Fox, and like their first line's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really like Laugh. Overrated. Sue me.
I quite like him.
But
I quite like him. I think he has another step to take this year.
that Panarin Trocheck 1-2 tandem they have of like those guys are so unbelievable to watch together.
Mm-hmm.
Zibanejad Kreider with Riley Smith attached to them this year
Could be a nice line.
get out of town. That might be the best second line.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a reach for me, but
I don't know, man. Like Zibanejad is always just been overshadowed.
maybe.
And again, like, yeah, their fourth line isn't that good, but like, who cares? Because like,
Who cares? That's really what. I couldn't agree more. The Shesterkin thing is kind of interesting because we still don't have a resolution on the contract, but I don't think he needs one. I think he's going to be great either way, especially in the regular season. There's just even with all of those outs, it's kind of like you said. I'm not concerned by it at all. They're like a couple of the other teams we talked about in the West, where it's like I'm just confident that they're gonna be good in the regular season.
yeah, and I think if they aren't good, it'll be because everything goes wrong. It'll be a goalie injury. It'll be a big defensive. It'll be like the Devils season last year, where like
that's just it, right? Like they really need things to go wrong for them to not be great in the regular season.
Yeah, I don't see it going sideways at all. There's just like no way. Even as much as I don't believe in Sam Carrick or Brzezinski,
Sure.
like I don't know. I have the same feelings about this fourth line as I do looking at the Devils' fourth line, and at the end of the day, it's like
Don't forget, you know who's gonna be on that fourth line.
Rempe,
Yeah.
maybe.
He'll be.
I don't know. They've been like really on the fence about his usage lately because they're like,
They'll put him in.
probably. But even then, it's still like, okay,
Yeah, exactly.
like it doesn't do anything for you besides like give you penalty minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, whatever.
It's actually really funny to me that like I so understand why both of you are like haters of this division, right? Because you're both fans of teams in this division, right? Of course, like Devils fans are gonna be not big fans of the Rangers and the Islanders, and Jonesy, I understand with you as well. I don't really know why I'm such a hater of these teams either. Like if we're being honest, I just don't. I mean, I know why I'm a Rangers hater, but like.
It's just their identity. They're just hateable teams.
Yeah, there's just something I don't like about it. Yeah, I got him first. Let's just get it out of the way. I got him first. That's what it is.
Same.
They're gonna dominate the regular season. I got them 53 wins, 23 losses, 5 OTLs. They're gonna beat the Devils in games they shouldn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to the Devils Prudential Center being absolutely bombarded with Rangers buffoons whooping and hollering and trying to beat up our social media staff. What is wrong with you people?
Just really New Yorking it up.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Did you see that last year?
I saw it, yeah.
Jesus Christ, you guys. Like, stay home.
I got quite the regression, quite the fall off even.
Stinky.
That we made it
100
through. Hold up, we made it through over half of this episode before you said the word regression.
Ding, 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 ding. Wow. A little
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
No, that's true.
We should have like a regression counter.
We
Might
should.
be.
It's here in full force now, though. Rangers.
Anyways.
Yeah.
102 points. I'm just not as I'm just simply not as high on them as y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I actually like really disagree with your laugh take. Like I think laugh's pretty nasty.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
mine? That's fair. I'm also
Yeah.
just a huge hater.
I agree.
I've had to listen to Laugh is Better Than Hughes talk for like my entirety of Hughes being on the
It's
Devils.
fair. Laugh is nasty, though. I agree.
Riley Smith is horrible. And-
Wow.
and like
well.
I'm not like we could debate if you want. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm not changing my mind on that.
All right.
Like
Well-
he's gonna be the Rangers whipping boy on Twitter. He will be. Y'all watch out.
No.
Yes, he will.
No.
Yes, he will.
Riley Smith is a product of his environment. You should look in the mirror.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. We got a lot of things to keep tabs on this season. I'm a big fan of it.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean all around, still a very good forward core.
Right.
I just don't. Like I don't think that the Rangers' second line is like without a doubt the best second line. Like honestly,
I agree with that.
a touch of power play merchants, just a touch.
Yeah.
I hate that though, Jay. Like
Because like
being a power play merchant is like part of being a fantastic team.
it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta execute.
it's tough to have a good power play.
And their defense mostly the exact same. Ryan Lindgren's kind of a problem. That dude's just always hurt.
Yeah.
It's becoming a problem. Like that dude actually is hurt every year.
Yeah, it's true.
Jacob Trouba is just horrid. Like he really is.
I know that's right.
Darnell Nurse-esque.
Very Darnell Nurse-esque. Yeah, I agree with that.
And
Could you
then
imagine if Darnell Nurse had the C?
Oh God. Yuck.
I don't expect Jonathan Quick to be as lights out as he was last year. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his record was, but he was actually just unreal.
He was shockingly good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Well, he was riding the, high of being completely discarded by LA without even so much as a thank you or a kiss on the forehead.
Yeah, a little vengeance tour for him.
Yeah, exactly. He could have played like 5 games and still looked insanely good.
all in all, I just have them just simply not being as good as they were last year.
Yeah.
102 points. It's good for third in the Metro.
That's actually not that far off because I didn't really realize how much Capo Caco's not sheltered now. Like they could kind of move him up and down the lineup and kind of have Goudreau there to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And like they just had pieces to fill in the blanks when he was not there.
They just
And-
need him to produce now.
Yeah, now they don't have that, so he has to produce, and if he doesn't, it could very well be one of those like Sharangovich.
No, Sharangovich. Yeah.
It's just one of those
Seagull.
players where it's like, they need him to do a thing, and if he doesn't do the thing, they're gonna have to sell on him while he still has some value.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I know that as an adult, it can be much more difficult than it was as a child to make time and learn new things and get used to doing new things. It's difficult. But at the end of the day, I know that we all have something that we'd still like to learn. If you're not learning, you start dying. Now is the time to start learning new things. And one of the best ways that you can just reconnect with that childlike wonder that gets you wanting to learn new things is trying out therapy. If you haven't been before, if you just haven't been in a while, it can be great for you. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, you should give BetterHelp a try. BetterHelp is entirely online, it's convenient, and it's easy to use. It's easy to switch your therapist if you need to at any time. It's free to do that as well. They're there for you. You just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched up with a licensed therapist. So rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/THPN today to get 10% off of your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/THPN. TD, Tutty, in for 6. Touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. We don't care how they score them. We want to bet on touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering on that. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. For me personally, I'm big on picking first touchdown score. The odds get crazy for that. They're subject to change, and I'm not giving any advice out here. but that's the one that I like to pick. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
All right, let's get out to Philly. This is a team that surprised a lot of people last year. They were expected going into last year to be like dead last. And I think we both had them as almost dead last teams.
Yeah.
Torts effect hits. They come up with 87 points. They were kind of in the playoff race right to the end. This year, not a lot changes for them. Mark Stahl's out. Felix Sandstrom's out. Okay, cool, whatever.
You know, how many times have we seen a Torts team like look really good for 3/4 of the year and then just hit the shits?
Yeah, it's part of what makes up a Torts team.
I think he's just too taxing of a frickin' person to deal with for 82 games.
I feel like he might be, to make a bit of a Canucks reference here, the Ian Clark thing, right? That seems to be the problem Canucks management has with Ian Clark, is that he gets so much out of his goalies. But because he rides them so hard, they fall apart.
Yeah. And then you have an injured Demko who has
In
to
the
go
playoffs.
to, you know.
And I feel like Torts is maybe kind of the same. Like he just, and it's hard to say like your philosophy's wrong because he gets teams like the 2023-2024 Philadelphia Flyers to 87 points, which they shouldn't probably be there.
No.
But, you know, it does mean like it's hard to keep up and they kind of hit a cliff. I mean, going into this year though, you got to think he's going to do that again. This is only is this his third season there?
Yeah, I
believe so. So, I mean, I don't know that we're at, like, the point where the room loses them, especially because they seem very happy with them after last year. And they add Matvei Michkov, who, look, I know we haven't seen a game from him yet, but, like, people forget that this was the Bedard Michkov draft.
Yeah, and I also wanted to just add in that I think there's been too much turnover for this room to get tired of him in the first place. Like, half of these guys are rookies or new additions, so.
Maybe, I mean, there's a lot of stay here. I mean, Tippett is young. I get that, but like Scott Lawton, Noah Cates, Sean Couturier, Travis Konechny. I mean, the goaltending obviously that's had a bit of turnover, sadly.
Yeah.
Even Farabee's been there for a while. Like, I mean, it's not like a super fresh room.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
It's kind of a weird team, right? Where they're definitely not good enough to be good. But they have some real talent here, and I do think that Torts is going to get more than they should out of them.
I agree. I think this team is just good enough to fund a rebuild, but too dumb to do it.
Facts.
Like, you could easily flip 4 pieces on here for at least 5 firsts and 2 seconds.
5 firsts is crazy, but
You could easily land 2 for Konechny. That is not a stretch. Konechny gets slept on way too much. Like, we forget he's almost a point per game player playing on, like, the bumhole of the Metro.
I know, but like that dude, when's the last time Travis Konechny played a fully healthy season?
Well, I mean, you know, if he wasn't playing in the bumhole of the Metro, playing under a tort system where he's getting yelled at if he doesn't block 100 shots a season.
Even before that, the guy can't stay healthy. He's great though. He's fantastic.
I mean, like, Owen Tippett still fetches a first at trade deadline.
Probably.
He's too high of an asset not to.
Yeah.
Couturier probably getting a second and a third. He's old and hurt, but
Y'all remember when Elliot Friedman like 2 years ago was saying Scott Lawton's worth a first?
Yes,
That
that's crazy.
was wild times.
But the market was actually like pretty crazy.
I
back
know the
then,
market
too.
was
like,
crazy. Yeah.
Like
But-
we always sound
but-
out to lunch when we say like 6 first, but like some of these players are legitimately hard to find right now.
Of course.
So with that being said,
Yeah.
also I just don't believe in their goaltending for what it's worth. Like that's why I have them doing so poorly.
Yeah. I mean, who are they gonna have in net? The big Russian fella
And Arison,
and Erison. I like Erison.
I like Arison too. I just don't love him.
Yeah.
And I don't like this. Very much looks like a team that has to rely on a 1A 1B, and I don't know. The Russian dude just got here and he didn't look that great in his first
No.
few games. So
No.
unless he was hitting the ice every day in the summer,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
No, I agree with you. I think they're gonna be a little bit better. Honestly, I think just because they add Mishkov and they get a full year of Drysdale helping that power play.
Drysdale's had some issues with his injuries too, though.
Yeah, he has.
And I mean, they just got Ristolainen back. Do we have like any solidified status on Ristolainen? Because he was just
Not that I
like
know of.
out and seriously out for a while.
I don't know. Bobby Brink is like a candidate for one of my favorite names in the league.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be cheering for Bobby Brink. I just think that's a dope name. But yeah, all in all, I think they're gonna be a little bit better, but I still don't think they're like anywhere close to a serious team. I think their counting stats are gonna be solid. Overall, like when I look at the Flyers, I think that they're gonna do better in their counting stats than they really should, and I think that the goal scoring issues that they had last year, as much as they'll still be there, I think that Michkov and health permitting Drysdale men in that power play is gonna bring them some goals. So I got them doing a little bit better. 91 points I got them at 40, 31, and 11. It's a lot of OTLs, and it's not good for a playoff spot. It's gonna be 5th, but I think they're just gonna be like one of those teams that's just Torts like in the mix the whole time.
Yeah, that's fair. I got him going 37, 37, and 8. It's good for 82 points. It's just a very below mid-season. It's very Philly. I don't think their goaltending's going to be good enough to make up for what they lack.
It's fair.
I think injuries are going to be an issue again. And I think that the Tort system has probably run its course or will start to really quick. I just think that you can't ask that much of these guys for that long.
Yeah.
Before you break them.
This record I have for them is definitely health permitting. Like it really depends on this group staying healthy. Jonesy, how do you feel about the Philadelphia Flyers?
I'm like right there with Trill. I got them at 83 points. Definitely not good for the playoffs. I feel like the Flyers are just kind of like the Islanders with bad goaltending.
Yeah.
It's valid. Yeah.
Like if they had good goaltending, I think they'd honestly just like swap places with the Islanders.
that's really
exactly.
valid. Yeah.
I also agree with Trill on just like, does the Torts system run its course? Has the expiration date come up?
It's a ticking time bomb. It always is.
But I won't lie. I like this forward core. Like I don't see a bad forward,
Obviously,
like-
yeah, the fourth line's not changing your life or anything.
but it's a fourth line.
I don't hate Hathaway on the fourth line. I could happily move him up to the
Yeah.
third if there's an
Nor-
injury and not feel bad.
yeah. Nor do I hate Noah Cates either. Honestly.
I think they have one of the stronger fourth lines out of some of the eliter teams that we've seen.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
But I'm personally not too high on Drysdale. Just personally.
Mm-hmm.
And nor Risto.
Yeah, I can't say I'm
Nor-
high on Risto either.
Nor Igor Zamula, personally.
yeah, I don't know who that is if I'm being real.
I just think that I got them at 13 OTLs.
Yeah.
I think they'll kind of just like they're a competitive team, but they're not gonna.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of competitive teams that won't win, let's
Nice
move to the
segue.
Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh, a busy offseason for them as well. They brought in a lot, and they needed to. However, they chose to bring in guys like Kevin Hayes.
And Sebastian Aho.
Now they do bring Sebastian Aho once again, not that Sebastian Aho, the other Sebastian Aho. They bring in Matt Grizzlick. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. They bring in Anthony Beauvillier. Yeah. They bring in Cody Glass, Blake Lizotte, Rucker McGroarty, who maybe won't play a game, but he's here.
I think he will.
It seems like he will, but we don't know yet. Riley Smith is out. Jonesy cried all summer about it. Braden Yeager is also out. Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Something like that.
POJ, he's out.
POJ is out. Jeff Carter. It's also his time to go. Yeah. It's hard to watch the downfall of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, it is. They just keep doing the same things and don't learn.
Like we got these line combos up right
All right,
here.
I'm gonna stop you. Anthony Beauvillier will not be on the first.
I
line.
was that's exactly what I was about to say. There is not a shot in this world that Anthony Beauvillier is a man you can put next to Sidney Crosby.
No, Michael Bunting, on the other hand, I could
Oh
see
my
Michael
God,
Bunting turning
Nah. Okay, I'm gonna say
turning a corner with
It's a
Crosby.
troll.
okay, two things.
Uh,
Two things. First of all, Bunting was actually so good with Malkin when he got here, so I don't think he'll be with Crosby.
Yeah.
And secondly, what I just said, chill on Michael Bunting. He's nice.
both of you are Michael Bunting apologists.
I like Michael Bunting.
I know you do.
The dude's good, and he's got that edge. He's like Nazem Kadri, but with some sense.
Yeah, tell him, Trill.
I swear to God. I swear to God, Kyle Doobie's got to both of you.
I also really like Nola Chari, so he might have.
I did, but he was pretty bad last year.
I like Noel Chari.
Were you
I'm
always
down.
playing him on the wing last year, though? Because he's not a
No,
winger.
He was. Well, he
Like, if you play him on the wing, of course he's not going to be good.
he
because,
was
like,
actually like, he and Jeff Carter would play on the same line,
oh, well,
crazy.
that's obvious.
and then
Crazy.
but like no, like that line one had like the best face-off
No,
percentage
that's
by like a
crazy.
landslide.
That's not shocking because he's an incredible center, and Jeff Carter's a face-off wizard.
Just Mike Sullivan things.
Oh man. Yeah.
I just like this team's not gonna make the playoffs.
No.
No.
I still like expect them to be very similar to how they've been the last 2 years though. Like I still expect them to be in the race. My biggest concern is that in the last 2 years Crosby and Malkin have like missed no time.
Yeah.
If they miss any time, they're not going to survive that stretch.
Yeah, it's so over.
I need Ryan Graves to not play on my hockey team. If we had a better, like Marcus Pettersson's going to be on the top line.
Top pairing.
That's
Yeah,
I don't know why he's on
yeah.
the third,
Yeah.
but if we had a better left defenseman,
yeah.
I would feel a lot more confident about this group.
I actually really liked Ryan Graves in Jersey.
I did too.
He put it together there.
I didn't mind it.
What'd y'all do to him?
He was horrid.
I don't. So
And I'm not gonna lie, I was just watching Devils Hurricanes second round highlights.
Yeah.
From 2023,
Mm-hmm.
and he was honestly kind of getting cooked. Like I was watching, I was like, wow, I should have seen this coming. So I don't know about that.
That was a great series. That was a lot of fun.
Nah. Hurricanes kind of whooped them.
Yeah,
they did.
I didn't have fun watching that one.
That's fair. I'm very intrigued because, when I look right at this lineup, I don't hate it. I really don't.
I kind of do. I actually do. I'll go out on a limb and say I hate like 4 of these 6 defensemen right now.
Really?
Carlson's too old. Letang's too old. Grizzlick, why are you on the first line? Sebastian Aho,
Yeah.
why are you in the NHL still? AHL, bottom 4, for sure.
Yeah,
Marcus Pettersson.
I don't know.
Marcus Patterson.
I got no problem with Marcus Pettersson.
Pretty good.
He's
but,
pretty
like-
good. He's maybe not a top pairing defenseman good.
Yeah, I mean, if he's occupying like 10 minutes a night, that's fine. But like
no,
next to
He's better.
he's
than
much
that.
better than that.
next
Yeah,
to next to Aho, really?
Nah, I don't agree with these lines.
I think these are projected, and they're projected wrong because I actually,
Pedersen will be the top line.
and I'm with you on that,
lefty.
Jay. I quite like Marcus Pedersen. My question for you is, what happened to the Penguins being a place where, like, good defensemen came out of nowhere? When did they stop being able to develop defensemen? Because I'm looking at Ryan Graves, and
Well-
you hate the guy.
What happened
Yeah.
is Ron Hextall sent them out. Sent out John Marino
Mm-hmm.
for good old Ty Smith.
Yeah.
He sent out Mike
Thanks.
Matheson for Jeff Petrie.
Sick.
What did
He literally just killed
Just didn't want him anymore.
the Penguins. And that was on like the same day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Also bro protected Jeff Carter over Jared McCann. Oh my god, man.
That's crazy. Jared McCann. I mean, the Canucks gave up on Jared
Penn's
McCann
legend.
too. Yeah.
I love
Canucks
that guy
legend.
actually.
That'd make me a Lapsed fan. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as when Nashville put oh Christ, what's his name? Starts with a T. Tolvanen.
Tolvanen.
Yes.
He was not on our team last year.
Tolvanen.
No, he
No,
was
your
on our
fantasy
team.
team.
He was on our team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghosted.
Yeah, the Fantrax, yeah.
They're like just
Or the ESPN, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know what's going on.
I
like that's almost as asinine a move as
Ugh.
putting Tolvanen on waivers and thinking a team wouldn't take him. Like mind-bogglingly asinine.
I just want to make a point on one more thing. I do expect Erik Karlsson to be better.
Me too.
Like I know he's old, but he's actually not like old as hell
Bro won a Norris 2 years ago
with the Sharks.
with the San Jose
I
Sharks.
think second year in Pittsburgh, second year in the system, whatever. I expect him to be better because we just didn't see him really be like the Erik Karlsson that he can be.
Yeah.
Last year.
I mean, health's still such a big question mark around him and always will be.
It's like that way for the
Yeah.
whole Penguins. I mean, even
Yeah.
Kevin Hayes, he's had a few like full seasons now,
Can
but like he's had injury issues too.
Y'all think Kevin Hayes is better than Jeff Carter?
In what way? Because like yeah, but no.
Like as like
Like-
a fourth line center.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I hold Kevin Hayes like higher in some aspects than Jeff Carter, and I also hold Jeff Carter higher in some aspects than Kevin Hayes. But
I don't want either of them.
yeah,
How's
I mean,
that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
they both would have been insanely awesome ads in 2015.
Yeah. All
You
right.
know?
That's like asking if I'd rather Casey DeSmith or Matt Dumba.
Yeah.
No. I just feel like to wrap this up here. I just feel the complete opposite of how I feel about teams like the Rangers, where I'm already ready for the Athletic articles that have no answers, and the headline is just, why do the Penguins keep losing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just can't find ways to win. And I think that continues. I got them at 82 points, 6th in the Metro. And it's just going to be a whole lot of, why is this team not better than it is? Even
Yeah.
though they're not like phenomenal on paper, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, that's fair. I got him going 34, 42, and 9. It's good for 77 points and 7th in the division.
Woof.
I'm predicting the fall-offs here. I'm predicting that we'll have, like, Sidney Crosby trade rumors in the 4th week. I just don't have a lot of faith
pal.
in this
Okay,
team.
pal. I don't know about that.
I'm
He
waiting
He just
for the
resigned.
yeah,
Yo,
just waiting for
chill.
the
Yeah, I
Biz
know.
to start running up the
But I mean, like,
Crosby to Colorado again.
it's gonna happen
Like the fake-
immediately. Like
yeah.
as soon as the Penguins slip, you know that's gonna be the headline everywhere
I
for
don't-
the next like 60 games.
Oh, wet,
I
like
don't really. I honestly,
It's all we've talked about for like a year and a half, even though we knew it wasn't going to happen. It was
but
like,
only because he was expiring.
Who talks about that?
yeah, but like they were never going to let him walk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That wasn't happening.
I don't. I don't think that's ever once been a serious consideration, like from anyone.
I have
It's
not
been
spent a
like-
day on my life worried that Crosby's not going to be a Penguin. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
He's gonna retire a Penguin.
I got them at 91 points, missing the playoffs. Like I said, I think they'll be very similar to how they've been the last 2 years. Yeah.
Fair
good,
enough.
but not good enough.
Yeah.
Good, but
Yeah.
not good enough.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Now let's get to the last one here, because
It's an interesting one.
the Washington Capitals are a very interesting one to me, and I so did not expect to say that,
Same.
like, at all. And they were a wild card team last year, and they were an Islanders type wild card team where it was like, this team has no business at all being a wild card team. Why are they in a wild card spot just to get walked in the first round?
Mm-hmm.
But I liked their offseason. I'm not gonna lie. I like their offseason. But Pacioretty is Gonzo. Was he ever really there? Beck Malmstein. I actually like the player. I got him on my Fantrax team. He's out. That's okay. Nick Jensen, Darcy Kemper, both out. They bring in Pierre-Luc Dubois and Jacob Chikrin. 2 question mark guys. But I really like the high upside gamble on both of them. I also think Matt Roy is a good gamble.
I think Matt Roy is a great sure bet.
Yeah, I don't think that's a gamble at all.
Yeah, it's not even a gamble.
That's
it's
eight
just
ball
a
corner
great ad.
pocket. Yeah.
Logan Thompson.
They just took the best defenseman on LA.
Yeah.
Eat your heart out, Drew Doughty. You're dust.
Logan Thompson, I got no problem with that. I got no problem with Andrew Mangiapane.
I like Mangiapane.
Yeah, I got no problem there. Brandon Duhaime, Taylor Radish, both in as well. I really like this offseason for them. From a team that kind of, while you're running it back and you know Ovi's about done, you know, you're kind of in the same boat as Pittsburgh, make those home run swings that you can make.
Yeah. If you're going to really go for it, then go for it. Like, what do you have to lose?
Exactly, because if it doesn't work, then it doesn't matter. It wasn't going to work.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you got some good years out of Ovi, and you didn't just, like, destroy his career and his point totals in the process.
But if this works, if Pierre-Luc Dubois plays well, which I don't know that I believe that he will, but if he does,
I kind of think he will.
it's possible.
I mean, his job gets a lot simpler when, like, the only, like, prerogative he has is to give the puck to Ovi in the circle. Like,
And I mean, it's one of the things he talked about, right? And he just did a French interview, and that was one of the things he was saying, was that he really felt like he didn't understand his role in LA.
that's fair. It's because LA doesn't have a role for anyone. They all just play trap hockey. They've been begging not to for years.
Yeah. And then, I mean, some of these younger guys, you get another year of development out of them. My boy Hendrix Lapierre, I'm expecting a step from him. There's actually a lot of things somehow that I like about this team. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I
about
love
the
Dylan
Washington
Strome,
Capitals.
like dead ass.
Hey, hell yeah.
Rasmus Sandin is a big issue for me.
Really?
I don't.
Mostly because he's never like he's always just been the guy that's supposed to be good, but never actually been good.
Popped out.
Yeah,
I don't know. He hasn't been around that long. Like, I think he
He's-
can still.
He's 24 though. He's running out of runway. You know,
Yeah.
he's kind of in like
But he hasn't been bad.
no, he just hasn't been good. And like the
I
issue
think you
is
pair
that,
him with Matt Roy on that second pairing, and I think they could be very good together.
yeah, I think so. I think that it's concerning when he's been overshadowed by Carlson, and then you bring in Chikrin for when Carlson leaves, and if Chikrin works, then he's immediately filling your PP1 spot. I just worry that he's like never going to actually have the runway to take the step, nor is he going to have the drive or success to force the step.
Do you think that like he has like true number one potential though?
Not really.
Because I don't.
I think he's a very strong like number 2. Like
Yeah.
I would put his parallel role to like Goth the Spare in a way. Like I could see him being a very great
Mhm.
top 4 with a lot of scoring potential on a power play, but
Sure.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned that it doesn't work out at all. He's one of those players that has like a very high ceiling and an incredibly low floor. Like his defensive numbers kind of suck.
They kind of do.
Like
It's true. But I mean, like Washington hasn't exactly been the greatest defensive environment either,
No. I mean, it's
which
never
still
been.
concerns me for this year as well because I don't think I really don't think Jacob Chicken addresses that all that much
I mean, he adds some scoring, I guess,
if he can
but
stay healthy.
if he can,
It's a big question
That-
with him.
absolutely. And I mean, Logan Thompson's in, so you can lean on him a little bit too. So,
Yeah.
Their goaltending's arguably better than it was last year. I
Yeah.
don't like
Yeah.
Kemper. Sue me.
I really do like Darcy Kemper, and I think he will have a good season in LA. But he really did not perform well last year, and was hurt.
And it just doesn't move me. Yeah, he won a cup, but like that team was sick. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
he didn't lead that team to the cup. The team led him. He just had to be in the
well,
way
no,
of
he's
enough
not
cups.
Igor Shesterkin, but you need goalies that can do that. Just be that calm force, right?
Yeah, I just don't like how close he's always situated to the elite goalie conversation because I just don't buy it at all.
I disagree with that. I've thought that Darcy Kemper has been underrated since Arizona. I thought he was fantastic there, and nobody ever cared because it was Arizona. And then he went to Colorado and won a cup, and everyone was like, "Yeah, but it's Colorado." Similar like the Corey Crawford thing. But I think if you have a goalie that you can win a cup with, you're happy. And I think he's a goalie you can win a cup with.
Kemper just reminds me of Mike Smith, but with like hockey sense.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
God, no. I hate that take more than I've ever hated a take from you, Trill.
That's what I'm here for.
I hate that. I hate that. Anyways,
Big swings.
I just think the Washington Capitals, I like that they took gambles, and I'm gonna assume they pay off.
Well, and they also, it's not on the list, but they did take a gamble in Vrana as well. They have him signed to a PTO right now, so he's maybe going to find
know.
his way back into that lineup.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Like, he had a really, really good year in Springfield once the Blues gave up on him.
Okay.
I think that he could make this team. Like, I mean,
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not moved by Jacob Brown on 2024. As much as a feel good story as it would be, I hope the best for the guy. I'm not moved by it at all.
I mean, he was a point per game
Yeah.
player 2 seasons ago. And the only thing that's changed since then is that he had a crippling cocaine addiction for a little bit.
What do you mean for a little bit?
A little minute.
I
Hip hop timetables.
still like it. I still like the team here. Actually, no, I shouldn't say I still like the team. For the first time in like 7 years, I kind of like what this team did. I got it paying off for him a little bit. I think 41, 30, and 11 is fine. I think that's good for 93 points. I think that's good for the wild card 2 spot.
Fair. I got him at 36, 40, and 6. 78 points in 6th. I just don't believe in this team even then. Like,
I mean, like, I could so see that happening for sure.
it's just one of those things where, like, there's too many players where, like, on paper, if you just look at them on paper, you're like, yeah, that's a really good team. But then if you actually get into the player profile and read a little deeper, there's so many asterisks beside so many people's names.
Absolutely.
I just,
Absolutely.
I don't, like, they would need every one of those players to hit and for the asterisks to be waived. And I just doubt it. I just so doubt it.
Jay, how you feeling?
I agree with you, Tico. I got them as my wild card too. 92 points. The thing about the Caps for me is that I think they're so much better than they were last year, actually.
Yeah.
But they were so bad, but lucky to make the playoffs.
Yep.
That, like, I don't see them actually being that much better. Like, I think they had 92 or
Yeah, they were-
93 points, whatever,
They
last
were right
year.
around there, yeah.
So, like, that's essentially going to stay the same, but I actually think that they're a solid-ass team here.
Yeah, they're going to be better, but not as lucky.
like I like everything they brought in.
Yeah.
And like Nick Jensen, not good. Always
True.
always not like that guy
True.
personally.
Yeah.
And like, like Beck Malenstein, Nicholas Aube-Kubel, like
Yeah.
I don't think they lost anything.
That like really matters.
I think they brought in I really don't think they missed. Even if PLD isn't that good,
It's not a miss.
it's not gonna break their season.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter as long as he feeds Ovi the puck. It really doesn't.
And like their young guys they seem to have developed well.
Yeah.
Like, where they're actually kind of making strides. Like a McMichael
Mm-hmm.
and maybe a Lapierre. So I don't know. I think this team is gonna be back in the playoffs as the WC2.
WC2. Back again.
Just being out the Penguins.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Wow.
I just
A
couldn't do it.
Penguins fan picking the
I
Capitals
just couldn't.
over the Penguins.
There's
By
some integrity.
1 point at
There's
that.
some integrity that needs to be maintained.
Jonesy, I respect it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really respect that.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's bold.
So yeah.
If Jackson was our producer, he'd have Detroit winning the cup.
110 point.
50 wins.
Yeah.
Watch out for Oli Mata.
Yeah. We
Jeff
had him
Petrie
right
with
pissed
a
off
career
today.
year.
All right. Let's get to I got just a couple things that happened the last week here. We got a lot of captaincies.
Yeah.
Victor Hedman, he gets the C.
Who else were you going to give it to?
It makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
Nick Foligno gets the C.
Also makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, it's very much just a holdover.
I'm going to
C.
call him Daddy Nick now.
Okay.
All right.
Did you have you not heard
Whatever,
the stories
whatever
about
floats your boat.
he's like he's effectively Bedard's babysitter on the road. Like because Bedard's too young to go out drinking, right? So the whole team goes out drinking. And,
Okay.
and he feels so freaking bad for this kid that he just stays back at the hotel.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So like he was being interviewed about his role on the team last year, and he was like, "Yeah, I just like would go out for dinner with Bedsy, have a nice dinner, watch some highlights, and go back to the hotel, and we both just crash early."
That's captain material right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
y-
I
yeah,
agree.
that-
That's what they used to call Tanev. Quinn Hughes used to call Tanev dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's the same role. It's like that's his on the road dad.
And Ratko Gudis gets the same treatment. Gets the C as well. Very much just a holdover while they figure out who's gonna own that one day.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that too. That's like
I don't mind it.
I honestly just want to say this.
Mm.
That if you don't think Radko Gudas is good in the year of 2024, I don't respect your puck knowledge.
Facts.
Fair.
Radko's a beast.
Ratko Gudis is
Like
a beast.
I see people clowning him getting the C.
Yeah.
It's not a long term like I think there's really been worse. Like teams have done worse than Radko as a captain.
It's true. There is a team right now currently putting a C letter on a Jacob Trouba jersey. It's happening as we speak, right this
And they're
moment.
trying to win a cup.
yeah,
That
that
and
is
they're trying to
crazy.
win a cup. That's right.
It's bold.
I really like Gudis getting the C. Like he's
Yeah.
like that team's bodyguard. They all like trust
Mhm.
their lives with that man. Like
And they are still like they know Radko's getting older. The team's not very good. They are still like waiting to see who out of, McTavish, Carlson, Z or whoever else is going to like really rise to that and be ready for that one day, but none of them are right now.
yeah, and
So
I mean,
you give it to the guy who's deserving of it. I like it.
and he's well acclimated. He knows when to turn it on. He knows when to get serious, and he knows when to have fun with the boys. I just think that's
Mhm.
exactly what you need in the group this young. Like
Mhm.
you need someone just to make things feel natural sometimes.
Kyle Okposo retires,
Shocking, but not.
but not. He gets his cup.
I mean, that's
Good
the
for him.
best way to
Yeah,
retire,
Way
right?
to go out.
Way to go out, 100%. good for him. That's a hell of a career. He spent in some miserable places. So gets the cup and retires. Good for you, man. Wanted to give a shout out there.
Yeah, that's poetic almost.
Yeah. And last one up there, Dakota Joshua. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, got diagnosed with testicular cancer over the summer, and thankfully caught it early. So he's gonna return to play at some point. He's gonna be safe and healthy. Good for him. But just a reminder to the fellas out there: get checked. Get
Yeah.
checked when you need to. When you feel something, when you feel weird, get checked. It's worth it.
Yeah, don't let your manliness get in the way of seeing a doctor. It doesn't make you more of a man because you avoided seeing the doctor for 2 weeks. Just go
Mhm.
get help. Don't be stupid.
Yeah. So just wanted to give a shout out to that as well, and hoping the best for Dakota Joshua as he gets through that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all the news, right? Sid gets an extension, 8.7 magic number. Mention
guy.
that for Big
8.7
J.
again. 8.7. Jonesy, we were talking like there's definitely no other hockey player in NHL history that's left as much money on the table as Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby is like Pittsburgh's food stamps.
Yeah, pretty much. Just unbelievable stuff. I actually can't believe he freaking did it again. Like the guy just can't keep getting away with this. He is for sure never getting traded. Like for sure. He's a Penguin.
Not anymore.
He is the Penguin.
At
Sidney
8.7. Yeah, I mean,
I know you had Lemieux. I know you've had Yager. You've had all these guys through the years. Sidney Crosby's your Penguin.
I mean, just having a contract that's literally your number for so many years.
Like I can't actually. The superstition thing is just so crazy. He's born 87, 87. He wears 87, and he's just like, give me that much money. I just don't. It's just so crazy.
Performance bonuses? No.
8.7.
8.7. Flat across. Okay.
Shout out to Sid. The guy is an absolute lunatic. I love it. And that wraps up our entire season previews.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I mean, like, hell of a run.
Yeah, hell of a run indeed. And with that, I mean, the regular season's about to get underway here. I'm very, very excited for this season.
Yeah, it was refreshing to walk into the studio and have some hockey on the big screen.
Yeah, it was. Even
Yeah.
though it's preseason, it doesn't quite hit the same, but it's nice to have it on and going.
There was a couple good scraps, too. Tanev chucking the mitts, getting the boys
Yep.
going.
Yeah, we like that. And next week we'll have a good show for you as well. Where we're not doing all the same news stuff, but we got some fun segments planned. It's gonna be a good time. So, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. We got a really good season coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think that this is going to be our best season yet.
100%.
So, hell yeah.
So hell yeah. As always, I'm Tico.
I'm yours truly.
That's our producer.
Big J.
Keep your dang head up.
Keep your head up. Boom.
Boom.
Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk.